All right, good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Sunshine, Rolls Royce technician Eddie coming to you live right here. And what we have is a brake accumulator here. This is from a 1971. You can see this is the sphere, this is the valve, this is the brake sensor right here. This is the sensor there that tells you that the brake light and the pressure is low. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take this and break this off of here. We're going to get it off of there so we can get them down in. There's the other one there that needs to be rebuilt. So we're going to go ahead and use our wrench. We're going to put our wrench right in here. We're going to try to separate this. Now, some of them come over pretty easy. Other ones, we had one that was the other day that was galded on there, and we're having a problem getting that one off, but we will get that separated so we can get that thing rebuilt as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this a good push. We're going to try to, these are supposed to be just tightened up slightly. There's an O-ring in there that seals it up, but we're going to go ahead and just, by popping this down, try to get this to twist off, and we're going to give it a try while I'm holding it. There, just like that. There we go. We got it loose. There it is. Now we'll go ahead and use our thing, because we're going to get this all cleaned up here, so we don't want to drop it. Down to the last thread. Just like that. There's the RR363 brake fluid. We'll go ahead and put this down in there, and then what we'll do, we'll go ahead and get this off as well. This would be the switch here. I actually loosened it up already using the 15/16 wrench. So we went ahead and loosened that, so we'll go ahead and take that off just like there, as such. There's a switch right there. That's a pressure switch. So we're going to set that aside. We don't want to get that all greasy. We're going to make sure that that's there. And there it is. There's 363 brake fluid in here. We're going to actually put that in here. Just suck up some of that. And then we'll go ahead and get it off. As you can see, we have it out. So we'll go ahead and set that in there. And then we'll go ahead and we're going to start on that one right there. We're going to get that up here in the vise so we can separate that one as well. Okay, so we have the other one up here now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull the nut off the top here as such. Just spin it around there. We're using a 3/4 inch socket wrench for that. We go ahead and pull this off along with the tag. This is the metal tag. We'll throw that down in there. The wave washer also, that's going to go down in there. And then we're going to go ahead and turn this sideways so that we can try to make sure to see if we can get this one to split off of there as well. Okay, so we have the other one up here. We actually went ahead and loosened the switch up here. This is the switch that's mounted on the valve. So we're going to go ahead and take this up. These are the early Rolls Royce where they mounted this. The later ones they put up on the firewall, ran a cable up to it, and put their sensor right here. So we'll go ahead and we're going to put that one aside, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this done off of here. We're going to try to get this off. We'll actually put this wrench on here, and we have to separate the sphere from the valve so that we can get ready to work on that. So let's go ahead and just kind of give this a quick hit. Hopefully it'll break itself loose so we don't have to sit here and work galding it up all like the other one. So let's just try to and there it is. There we go. That's the way it's supposed to come off, just as such. So we'll go ahead and get that loosened up. Use a rent paper here to wipe this off. We don't want to drop it. Like that. Look at that oil pouring out of it. Put a little this on there. All right, so there you go. There's your valve right there. And now we're ready to, we're going to pull the rest of these pipes off of here. I don't know what all of this is, but we'll loosen those up, separate those, and then go ahead and take this hose off, because I loosened this, but it stops it here. So we don't want to break this valve hose, high pressure hose there. And there's our parts. So we're going to get ready to start cleaning those up here momentarily. Okay, so there you go. We got the two valves down in here with all the little fittings. We actually have the brake accumulators down here. So we're going to go ahead and get these cleaned up before we get started dismantling these. All right, what we have here, we have the sphere locked down in our fixture here. I actually had this custom made to fit on the back of a truck hitch so that it won't move, because some of these are tightened down so hard that a regular workbench isn't going to do it. But what we need to do before we go ahead and open this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make sure that this thing doesn't have any air in it. We're actually going to drop this down, make sure that the sphere has no gas. We don't want to have a problem there. And as you can see there, it's totally flat. There's nothing in it. It's actually empty. So we'll go ahead and pull this out. This is our tool to depressurize the sphere. So we'll go ahead now and put the wrench on it and try to get that thing unscrewed. So here we go. We actually have a big Mat tool extendable Matco. That's actually a Matco breaker bar right here. It's actually expandable to go all the way out. And we went ahead, stuck on our fixture, and we have it turned. So we actually were able to split it. Here it was actually an easier one, unlike the one we had seized up over the past weekend. So there it is. We got that split apart. We're going to go ahead and pull this apart, stick that down into the parts cleaner. Everything else in here is actually being cleaned right now in the solution. So let's continue our disassembly. All right, so we got the second one up here. It's on the bunch. We're going to get ready to split this one. We already have the second one, the first one already done. It's down there in the cleaning solution. The two brake valves are out. They're drying out. So we'll start tearing everything apart here to get this ready for another Rolls Royce to proceed again. And as you can see, we got the second one on. We got the big Matco 4-footer on there. We're ready to try to break this one loose. Hopefully we won't have any issues with this one, unlike the one we had last week. So let's try to push this, try to hold this. No, that's going to have a little problem here. And there you go. We have it split. There it is. We'll actually turn this back a little bit. There it is. We got that split open. All right, so we're going to go ahead and dismantle that one, put that down in the parts tank, and now we're going to start getting them all cleaned up, sandblasted, glass beaded, and rebuilt. And look at this mess. We got the diaphragm there. We got all of this mess here, and look at it all caked in here inside this accumulator. This is a real mess here. On this one, you can see, no wonder this thing wasn't working. It was at 0 pressure, and as you can see how they all gelled up with all the gook in it. We got a big mess. We're going to have to clean this up and get it all done. All right, so we got the tools cleaned. There is a tool. There's the big nut. We actually have the stuff down here. These are the accumulators right here. Split. We'll pull the rubber diaphragms out of there, soak them a little bit more, get them ready, and then we'll continue our rebuild. All right, so we got them out of there. We're going to put them in this parts cleaner tank and let the mineral spirits and go ahead and start cleaning these down, so at least we can get some of the grease and the grime off of them before we begin to glass bead, sandblast, and clean them all up. All right, so here we go. We got the two valves up here. They're going to get ready to be dismantled. We have the parts over here. These will all get polished up. As you can see how much cleaner they are. At least we got most of the grime and grease off of them on both sides. So we're going to start getting these taken apart and start rebuilding these. The other ones were here in the parts tank. We're actually going to start cleaning that. We're actually going to turn it on and start cleaning this just as it is. So we'll start brushing them up to get some more of that grease off, so that once we put it in the oxide and the sandblaster, we're not going to get all of that overspray all over the equipment inside. So there it is. So we'll start cleaning those up inside out, and we'll come right back. Okay, so here we go. We got them out of the parts tank. We got them all degreased, and now it's time to we're going to pull the little valve out of here. There's a valve down in there. You can see that right there. That's got to come out. That's got to get cleaned. There's two of them here. We're actually, these two here, you can see We got this done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stick them in the glass beater, and we're going to start glass beating to clean everything up on the spheres. And then once those are taken out, we'll go ahead and pull the 2 valves apart, and then we will start sandblasting and glass beating all of that, and then begin the rebuild. So there it is right there in sunny South Florida. So I'll come back live in just a few minutes. All right, so here we go. We got them right in here in the glass bead cabinet. We're going to open this up. Got a load of that, huh? They're all done. They're blasted down with the black oxide. And now we're going to get them back out of here, back onto the bench, and get ready to start polishing them. All right, so they just came out of the sandblaster. We got them all cleaned. As you can see, we got the threads all cleaned up in there. And now we're going to get ready to polish those up. We have the 4 spheres split. We have them degreased. We have them cleaned. We have them dismantled. And now we're going to get ready to polish those up, make them look like a couple of chrome spheres here. As you can see, that's the glass beads, as this is the first of the couple of steps we're going to take to get these things polished up and shined, looking as only they can look. As soon as we're done with those, we're going to start dismantling the valves. These are the 2 valves that sit on top of it. This is the old style from a 71 with the brake switch here on the side of the valve. The later models didn't have it. It was up on the fender wall. So let's go ahead and start polishing these up, and I'll come back and show you the finished product here after we're done polishing. All right, as we get out of the first phase of the polishing, you can see how much nicer they look right now. They're all polished up. As a matter of fact, we got them all, look at that inside there, nice and easy. We got around the bead where the diaphragm would sit. We have those polished up real nice. Here's the top half. You can see that almost to the fact that it's chrome. And again, we got that all cleaned up on the inside. We're going to do a little bit more in there to make sure that it's all spat. The rings, here's the rings right here. They're polished up, and here's the other part of the sphere. So we're going to go ahead and start pulling the brake valves apart now, so we can get those into the sandblast, get those clean, so we'll have everything done and ready for reassembly. There it is. All right, as we got the brake valve in the vise, we actually have our 1-inch stock right here, and we went ahead and we actually got it loosened. All right, it's in there, jammed up there really hard. So now that we have that done, we already loosened this one here, so we're going to get ready to start taking these apart, and we'll show you exactly what they look like inside. Okay, once we removed the screw that holds everything together, we went ahead and backed that out, and now this is the bobbin here. So we're going to go ahead. It's a little hard for me to do this with one hand, but we're going to try to do the best we can holding this. So let me just kind of get this pried out of here. And there it is. There's the bobbin with the O-rings. Just like that. We're going to go ahead and finish pulling that out. And there you see we have the bobbin out here. We'll finish pulling these out. This has to come out. And then we have the pin. There's a pin that rides down in here along with the bypass valve and the spring that sits behind here, behind the plate. This is the inside of the brake valve. So we got this up. We're going to actually stick this in the cleaner and clean this up because there's still a lot of brake fluid down there. We don't want to get that into our sandblast media. So we'll go ahead and pull the other one apart so that we can show you exactly. Here's the bobbin. It's not too bad. O-rings are going to need definitely replaced along with everything else that goes inside there as well. So let's come back once we get this other one pulled apart. All right, so there we go. We got one already sandblasted. You can see that. We got the glass beading done. This one we're going to start on right now. So we'll have a pair of them that are looking like brand new. So we're going to get that done. And once we do that, we'll polish them up. We'll make them look like that. And there'll be a nice set of chrome. These are the rest of the parts here. We got to go through all of this, clean this all up. These are the bobbins. There's the pins. There's the bypass valves, the springs, and everything else is going to need to be taken care of, cleaned, and polished as well. So we're going to continue our rebuild here as we speak. All right, there it is. We got them both sandblasted, got them all cleaned up. They're going to be looking just like that, hopefully, here in just a short period of time. We have the rest of the parts here. We're going to clean these parts, and then we're going to start rebuilding these like what you're looking at right here, the O-rings and all of that. So let's continue and keep moving forward. All right, as you can see the difference here in the polished one here. This is not silver paint. This is actually polished metal of what it is. This is the core here, and this is the shiny one that we just polished up. We're going to do a little bit more on that, and then we're going to be able to put that right on there. That is not silver paint. That is actually the polish that Mr. Sunshine Rolls Royce technician Eddie gives you when you're getting ready to take your Rolls Royce and make it proceed again. We're going to finish cleaning the rest of this stuff up here as we go, but I just wanted to give you a little look as to how that brake accumulator or that brake valve looks right there. Look at that, all polished up, and we still have a little bit more to go, but it's going to be looking oh so fine here as compared to the bare metal one here. Okay, so we got them all polished up. We've got both of the valves polished up. You can see those. We got the parts all clean. There they are. There's the bobbins, there's the springs. We have the caps that go on. There was shims in here, 2 in each one. There's the springs, the bypass valve, the pin, the spring retainers, and the extra parts that go in there that hold the accumulator up. These are going to get replaced, though we're not going to worry about those. They're getting brand new ones installed. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to finish. We have to order the parts to get them in, and we will come back with a second video showing you how it all goes back together. And there it is. So Mr. Sunshine, Rolls Royce technician Eddie, bringing it to you live right here. I hope you enjoyed today's show. We did it here in just under about 2 hours. And we're all ready to go. So here's the extra fittings. We'll be putting those back on later on after we get done cleaning those. There's the old O-rings. Those all get thrown away, and we will rebuild them with another video. Thank you for watching. 561-693-8636.